Crunk music is much more diverse and interesting than most people seem to think. It's currently experiencing a revival with a surprising amount of industry backing. Join us today as we discuss the exciting, underrated career of rising Memphis rapper Duke Deuce. When you get the chance, please also follow the Instagram if you haven't already. It would mean a lot. All of the high quality collage art you see on the thumbnails along with the other artwork goes on there. For the uninitiated, the phrase "Crunk Ain't Dead" may inspire a confused eye roll or chuckle. Most casual listeners associate the word crunk with influential rapper turned human meme Lil Jon and his catchphrase grunts. Before we talk about what it is that Duke Deuce is bringing back, let's define some terms. What is crunk music and where did it originate? Like a vast majority of the greatest art forms and works we currently know, the origins lie with black people in the American South. The terminology and sonics, which would go on to formulate what we know as crunk music, originate in disparate hip-hop subcultures in Miami, Atlanta, and most importantly Memphis. The word's first popular usage in a hit song was by Andre 3000 in the 1993 Outkast song Players Ball. If you really want to hear the sonic origins of the subgenre though, there are debates as to its true source. The incredibly famous and beloved 3-6 Mafia certainly deserves some of the credit, although in this music fan's opinion, there is another artist who deserves just as much credit as 3-6 who hasn't gotten nearly enough attention. That man's name is Tommy Wright III. Throughout the 1990s, Wright was a one-man wrecking crew of formative early trap and crunk music. Today, his prolific series of self-produced cassettes, mixtapes and albums all released before he reached his mid-20s, and are rightly respected as genre classics by those in the know. Still, not enough people are in the know, and you definitely need to hear his music if you are at all curious about some fascinating early documents of what has been an invigorating cultural force ever since. Wright's second ever project, released in 1992 when he was only 16, was titled Memphis MASSACRE. In 2018, then 26-year-old rapper Duke Deuce released his debut mixtape, also titled Memphis MASSACRE, perhaps named in honor of the mixtape which was released the year he was born. His mission was not only to reignite crunk's popularity, but also to educate the populace and keep the truth about crunk's origins alive. It was not Lil Jon nor any of his East Side boys who put the genre on the map. It was a wide array of rappers, producers, artists and groups in Memphis who created a sound that is sometimes called crunk, sometimes called trap, and sometimes called horrorcore, depending on the presence or absence of specific production and lyrical qualities. Duke Deuce was born and raised in the Blackhaven neighborhood of Memphis, just like DJ Paul and Gangsta Boo. From birth, the sounds of Memphis that had been bubbling up over the previous several years were ingrained in his life. His father, Duke Nitty, is a producer who has worked with artists such as Gangsta Black, Nasty Nardo, and Mob Life. He has even produced a few songs for his son, bringing the resurgence of the Memphis crunk sound full circle. In 2018, the music video for his song Whole Lotta caught a whole lot of attention online for the infectious charisma and synchronized choreography shown by Duke and his friends. From the beginning, a particular style of dancing, also indigenous to Memphis culture, has been prevalent in his music videos, and that inclusion helps make the music and visuals feel even more fun than they already are. Among the many fans of this video were Offset and Cardi B. Offset reached out to Duke Deuce expressing a desire to sign him to Quality Control based entirely on his rather minimal output at that point. Offset flew him out to Los Angeles, and a few months later Duke Deuce was a QC signee, with his debut mixtape to see released later that year. I really hate that I didn't know about Memphis MASSACRE when it was released in the fall of 2018. It's so good, guys. I only got properly clued into Duke Deuce's music in early 2020 when the perhaps even better Memphis MASSACRE 2 came out right before the global pandemic began. Both of these tapes are just stacked with, and I'm sorry that I overused this word, but for a lack of a better one, bangers. In some ways, Duke Deuce is like a crunk rap method actor. By his own admission, he recorded Memphis MASSACRE while drunk, having not written down any verses before hitting the mic. The man is committed to his craft, and I don't mean to imply that he's not authentic though. I hope the background I have provided thus far proves as much. In 2019, he saw another viral hit in Yeah, a single which was unfortunately buried deep in the 36-song monstrosity that was Quality Control Group's Control the Streets Volume 2 compilation album. I mean, go watch the music video and tell me this song deserves to be track 25 on this album. Despite the ostensible bet hedging on display, Yeah took off, entirely due to the visionary guidance of Duke Deuce and his love for Memphis crunk music. Of the 3 major projects he's released so far, I think Memphis Massacre 2 is my favourite, but that might be because it's the first one I heard from him. As soon as I heard his iconic ad-lib, which I will not butcher by attempting to recreate here, I knew I was in for something special, and that's what the entire Duke Deuce discography has felt like to me, a person who was an infant when Crunk first blew up, and has pretty much nothing in common with anyone about whom I've written on this channel thus far. Duke Deuce is therefore special. If you really want to hear the 2 songs that convinced me, they're both on MM2. One is called Crunk Ain't Dead Remix and the other is called Crunk Ain't Dead Mob. The former is a remix of a heretofore unmentioned song, and it features incredible appearances from Lil Jon, Project Pat and Juicy J. In case you were still concerned that this was all a little bit too much, the OGs have accepted Duke Deuce into their fold with open arms, and the resulting intergenerational union is a fireworks display of hip-hop brilliance. Although Crunk Ain't Dead Mob has a similar title, it is a completely different track, with an incredibly fun gimmick in which each letter of its title is used to begin the next line. Amazingly, it features probably the best Lil Yachty verse ever recorded, which isn't saying that much to be fair, but he definitely does not slouch at this opportunity. The whole thing is ridiculous fun. If this song doesn't put a smile on your face, then I don't know, man. Stick around for the next Earl Sweatshirt video, I guess. In 2021, Duke released his debut studio album, amazingly titled Duke NUKEM. This album cycle was spearheaded by the hilarious music video he directed for Soldier's Step In. Again, if there is any rapper whose music videos are an integral component of the entire experience, it is this man right here. He's a born entertainer, and he has shown that he can bring versatile flows and new cadences and patterns to the genre by which he is so inspired. I know this is secondary to the music, but I also think it's worth mentioning that Duke is also outspokenly community oriented. In nearly every interview I've seen or read with him, he mentions wanting to give back to Memphis, the city that gave him everything. I consider myself a somewhat well-travelled person, and Memphis sticks out in my mind personally as one of my favourite cities in the US. I don't imagine it's easy living or growing up there, but it's one of those cities where its artistic legacy emanates from every surface and storefront. Duke also casts his close friends, producers and collaborators in all his videos. My favourite genre of hip-hop music video is the one in which a group of people are just going hard and having fun in their neighbourhood or hometown. No one is doing these types of videos better than Duke Deuce. As I write this, he has been teasing towards the release of a new album. He put out a phenomenal video for his latest single, Falling Off, which features Rico Nasty. Sheesh, I mean, what can you even say? In case you thought this was all about parroting nostalgia, this man is pushing the genre forward in ways that would have previously only been heard in niche pockets of the underground. Are we far off from a Lil Ugly main feature then? While we're manifesting things, how about a big Crit collab even? I've learned a lot from Duke Deuce, chief among them the true origins of crunk music and what it really means to the city of Memphis. I hope that this short video has inspired you to not only look into the music of Duke Deuce, but the whole history of the genre he is reviving. What's your favourite crunk song, artist, mixtape or album? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, thank you so much for watching.